Hiya, folks. This is Rick Emmett of Triumph.
This is Mark Merrill, also known as Johnny B. Bad.
Yo, guys, it's Mark McKay.
Hey, this is Frank Fletcher.
Hola, amigos. This is Billy Sheehan.
Hey, guys, this is John Karabi.
Hey, guys, it's Leva Leone.
What's up, guys? Cassandra Carson here from Paralandra and the Life Project.
What's up, everybody? It's Logan from All the Pretty Things.
Hey, this is Cody Howell.
Hey, this is Sammy Lee, drummer of the band Red Rain.
My name's Reggie, and you are listening to the Weekly Pour podcast. Thanks so much for joining the most amazing twosome out there.
The most amazing things that can happen to a human being will happen to you if you lower your expectations. Welcome to the Weekly Pour podcast. Here are your hosts, TbT and Ace.
It's us. We're here. Welcome.
Let me tell you, my expectations are lowered.
Good. They should be. Today is Lower Your Expectation Day. I am TBT. That guy over there is Ace. This is the Weekly Pour podcast. This is episode, 78. That's what we're going with. 2 away from 80. 20 away from, that's math. Never mind. Whatever. Welcome. Here we are. Another Tuesday, second episode of 2024, second episode of season 3. If you're joining us live, hopefully you're watching us on YouTube because that's where the chat's at. Join in. Our moderator, Natalie, is there ready to get you guys squared away. Lou is in, listening from Michigan. Lou, thanks for joining us. Whoever else is in there, be sure to hit that thumbs up so we know you're there. Say hi in the chat. You don't have to talk a whole lot, but, at least say hi so we know you're there and whatever. So, hey, happy week, because it's been a whole week since we did an episode.
Yeah, and I came back from vacation today.
You did?
First day.
Yes. I heard you.
Was I loud?
No, you were making sure your stuff was working.
Oh, my gosh, it wasn't working when I got out to my car today.
I heard you, though, at some point.
It was a miracle, too. I love things that are a simple fix.
Yeah.
Yeah, and this was a simple fix. It was basically just a hard reboot.
Is that not, unlike anything else in the world, if it doesn't work, just turn it off and turn it back on?
Yeah, or unplug it, plug it back in.
Yeah. I mean, that was our computers. That was everything. That's your refrigerator.
I used to get so frustrated when the old days when I had Dish Network or before DirecTV, there was something called Pegasus.
Yes, there was.
Yes, and that was the first satellite system I had.
That satellite was like 6 feet in diameter, right?
Yes. Yeah, it was a huge, you could contact astronauts with this thing.
Right.
And I used to get frustrated with them because I would have issues and call them, and they would have to run you through the whole rigmarole of, just turn off your TV, unplug this, pull, I know all that, done all that, cut to the chase. I've called you a million times. I already know.
Yeah.
But that was when that stuff started, the hard reboot. It was in the 90s.
It's the same thing with your phone. When you would have issues with your phone and you would have to call, they would, or here's a perfect example, your cable box. What is the very first thing they do? Have you unplugged it, waited 30 seconds, and plugged it back in? Yes, because I've been doing this for 30 years. I know the first step. Go ahead and turn the page on your manual or flip the cue card. Yeah. Whoever you are working at home, flip that, because I've already done it.
Yeah.
And it pisses them off.
Well, and I never thought about this, though. This was just disconnecting the battery cables and then waiting a second, put them back on, hard reboot. Everything's good.
Imagine that.
Yeah, so.
Yeah. Holy cow. Chat's coming alive. Shannon's in there. Mama TBT's there. Hello, Mama. Yep, that's all. That's it. And nobody's hit that thumbs up. I'm the only one that's hit it, and it's really starting to make me mad. I'm going to unhit it.
I feel like we need a subject to get them fired up. What would fire them up?
Yeah, because here we go. This is what I want to do. What do you guys want to talk about? Yep, see, nothing.
Well, you got to give them a second.
Well, I did. I gave him 1 second.
We're still waiting.
Yeah, I just pulled a Cody Rhodes there. So what do we want to talk about? Nobody cares.
How about Michigan winning?
Psh, who cares?
That was a great game.
For who? Michigan?
Yeah.
Hey, I expected them to win because cheaters always win.
Whatever.
Yeah, it was horrible. I wasn't rooting for Michigan. I was rooting for the underdog. I did not think that the underdog was Washington. It turns out they were. Big fan of Michael Penix, and wanted to see him cap off his 8th college year. With a
that would be cool if he had won. Just because he started at IU and got smart and left. Yeah. I did see the other day where a college football player got cleared for eligibility for a 7th season, a quarterback.
Yeah. Yes, he is 43.
I don't understand. I mean, I know COVID, okay, we'll give you a year.
If you and I had went to college for a 4-year college for 7 years, it would have been because we were with Tapa Keg of Brew, and it would have had nothing to do with athletics.
I was with Tapa Keg of Brew.
That's what I'm saying.
That's why it took me 3.5 years to do a 2-year degree.
Whatever. So see, you could have easily had your 6.5 years of college.
Well, I mean, what's he hoping to get? I didn't read about it. I don't know anything, but what are you hoping to get? Finally, you get to start? Finally.
Maybe.
No, you won't, because they'll just, wave a wand and someone will fly through the transfer portal that's better.
Right.
I always imagine the transfer portal being like Doctor Strange waving his hands. Yeah, and this big hole opens up, and then a great quarterback falls through.
Right.
That you paid $2 million for.
I'm not sure. I don't know if I like the transfer portal.
I don't.
I don't know if I like the. Yeah, I mean, I can understand paying the college players. I get that, but I think there should be a cap.
Yeah, and in the old days, that would have been a death sentence.
Oh yeah.
Remember Texas Tech, not Texas Tech, TCU.
Yeah.
And SMU. Yeah, I mean, they were decimated by scandals.
Who was the Heisman Trophy winner? I think played for New Orleans. That went to Texas. Maybe they stripped him of his Heisman. Wasn't that because he got paid?
You talking about Reggie Bush?
Yeah.
Went to UCLA, won the Heisman, and his mama got a car or something.
Big deal.
Now it's not.
Yeah, now it's okay. So what's the deal? I don't understand. It's annoying, but I get paying them, especially when you have NCAA football for the freaking Nintendo or whatever, and they're using their likenesses.
Well, they got to get that straightened out too, because we haven't had a college football game in a long time because of this problem.
Yeah,
and I'm cool. You get a percentage of your jersey being sold. Because that was a problem. You weren't getting a percentage of that. And they're using your likeness, your image. I get that, but I don't get the fact that Arch Manning made $3 million sitting on the bench, and Brock Purdy, who's going to be the MVP of the NFL, is making $400,000. Nothing to sneeze at. I don't make $400,000.
Right.
And I'm sure.
What did you just do?
That was a hell of a point I just made.
It was.
Because fireworks just exploded behind me, if you're watching.
I think there should be a cap. Let's start it as a freshman. You get 10,000. You get 20 for do it in increments of 10, 20, 30, 50. You're a senior, you get 50.
What do you do about Instagram? What do you do about TikTok? That's where they're making.
How is any of that worth millions of dollars?
That Olivia Dunn is making millions of dollars for LSU.
She probably would get some of mine.
Well, she's making millions, and so are the Cavender twins.
Sure.
2.2 million between them.
Absolutely. But I don't know. I think there should be a cap. I don't think I get paying them. That's cool. But I mean, when you get to the millions, to me, that just seems ludicrous. Unless you're, I don't know.
What do you do if you're a lesser program trying to build yourself up?
Right.
And you can't because you can't afford it, because you can't get the quarterback. What do you do? What do you tell a recruit when you sit in his living room and you say you'll get a chance to start? Oh, by the way, we're getting a guy from Duke tomorrow in the transfer portal that we paid $3 million.
Yeah, think of somebody like Indiana. We get a new coach. Let's say this was, this was somebody getting ready to transfer from Alabama. The number, a 5-star whatever, and he goes, "I want to transfer to Indiana because it looks cool." Holy moly! There's a name we've not seen in a while in the chat. Greetings to Toby.
Oh, Toby.
Ivy Tech NIL deal incoming. Yes, absolutely. You will get $250 and a all-you-can-eat buffet at Golden Corral. Okay.
Oh, well, that's worth a lot right there.
That's probably worth $100,000 at least.
So, what do you do in these situations when you're the coach? What do you do if you're sitting on the bench? Okay, Notre Dame. I'm a Notre Dame fan, and they've got a guy. Sam Hartman's leaving. They paid for that guy too, Hartman. They've got a guy that's played in the bowl game and played well, and they won the bowl game. That's the only game that guy's starting because they got the Duke quarterback coming.
Sure. But I understand that with Notre Dame, they don't need to get paid anyway. I mean, this is a school that thinks they're Ivy League, and they're not.
No.
See, I have hatred for Notre Dame.
Let's not pick on Notre Dame.
Okay.
And your hate.
Okay. All right.
I like Notre Dame.
Kathy just jumped in as soon as she heard Golden Corral.
We just took her there.
Yeah, she said she heard Golden Corral and she's in. So there we go. But yeah, I understand the schools getting paid and the schools making millions of dollars, and it is right for the players to get something. But what's with this transfer portal? You have committed. This is where, we have a problem with commitment in this country. And people are always saying, "Oh, you got to be loyal, got to be loyal. You're not loyal to the company. You're not loyal to this, blah, blah, blah." It's obviously starting in high school and college. I don't like it here. I've only played 10 out of 12 games. I'm transferring.
Right. And used to, you'd have to sit out a year. So that was a way for you to kind of weigh that decision. Is it worth it to sit out a year?
Right.
Especially if you were going in conference, IU to Purdue thing. That made sense. At least then you're not getting stung by the guy that just left you
right
away. And it makes the decision have more weight. Now there's no weight to it at all. It's like, oh, you're going to pay me what?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, look at here. Another example. Look at James Madison. The amount of players who entered the transfer portal who ended up in Indiana because of their new football coach.
Oh, okay. I haven't looked into that.
Look at
Colorado.
That's exactly where I was going. Colorado last year. Tons of them.
Yeah, I'll just take you guys with me.
Yeah. And they ended up not doing really well, but whatever.
Well, you can really hurt a program with this, the way this works now.
Oh yeah.
I'll just take everyone with me. Fire me. I don't care.
Yeah. I put money on it right now that James Madison will have a losing season. I mean, and the coach Sig, fantastic coach in what are they, Division II? Fantastic coach in Division II. He led them to great records. They went to a bowl game. I didn't even check to see if they won. I don't know if they won. But not now. Their players left. I think even the quarterback came to Indiana.
Now you've got to start all over. And what is your incentive?
Right. What do I get?
Yeah. Well, here's another thing. Now the college players are pushing for another year of eligibility because of NIL. There is a quandary that Marvin Harrison Jr. is going through. Should I stay in college or come out? Because I can get, I think the number was 20 million staying.
Yeah.
If you stay at Ohio State, make 20 million, or get a rookie contract in the NFL.
Yeah. So what do you do?
What's your incentive to study? I don't understand. I mean, used to, you got a scholarship, you had a free education, and maybe a stipend, and maybe you go pro.
Right.
Now even if you're a failed pro, you're going to be at least a successful college quarterback and make a lot of money.
Sure. So James Madison was 11-1. They played Air Force in their bowl game, and Air Force beat them 31-21.
Here's another problem I have. There's another problem. People who choose to sit out of bowl games.
Oh, that should not be allowed. You either play or you're off the team.
So look what happened to, was it Florida State?
Florida State.
Where 19 players sat or were injured. So I'm watching this game, and at first I didn't know the whole story, but I'm watching this game, and I'm like, well, obviously Florida State didn't deserve to be in the playoffs anyway. We proved this point. We didn't prove anything.
No.
Except Georgia's players were more committed to winning a bowl game.
Why did they have a choice?
I don't know. I get it if you don't want to play. You're a quarterback. You're a running back. You're someone who wants to prepare for your pro day, and you don't want to get hurt, and you don't want to have a bad showing. Let's say you have a bad day at quarterback. That might drop your draft stock. I get it, but also you're putting your team in jeopardy that you worked hard to help them get to whatever bowl game it is that you got to.
And if you're a senior or you're an underclassman and you don't plan on returning, this is your only bowl game of your life. Right. I think it's selfish. I don't think it shows any kind of teamwork.
Character?
Yeah, I think it's absolutely. Character's, out the window. You want to sit the bowl game. If you're not injured, you're playing. Yeah, that would irritate the crap out of me.
Yeah.
It already has. So I'm leaving. I'm sitting out the show.
What do you do if you're the Florida State quarterback? What's your speech to get people to stay, or you just accept it?
Why the quarterback? How about the coach step up and be a man or a lady? Be whatever. Be the coach. You are a member of this football team. If you're not going to play, pack your locker up and get out because you're off the team.
I mean, let's say this happens next year and you're in the same spot. You're the 5th team. Well, next year they expanded, right? They're expanding next year. So let's say you're the last team to not, you just barely didn't make the cut, and you don't want to go through that again. You better lay down the law, or some, if you can. I don't know the rules. Have the rules changed that you don't have a say?
I don't know. Natalie brings up a good point. She says, how about the college? They should enforce it. What are they going to enforce, though? And the same goes for the coach, really. If you're leaving the school to go to the draft, or you are a senior and you're done, what are you going to enforce? Here's a choice. The coach could say, okay, well, whatever. But the college could say, oh, okay, you're not going to do that? Then we pull your scholarship and you have to repay it back.
With your NIL money.
Yeah, exactly. With the interest that you got off your money. Yeah, make them pay it back, something. I think it's childish.
Here's another issue, though. You brought up coaches. How many coaches have just left at the end of the season without warning because an NFL job showed up or something else came up, and they had committed all those players, and those players were stuck there because scholarship. That was not now, maybe transfer portal, magic wand. I mean, we've had coaches do the same thing.
Deion Sanders left the college he was at to go to Colorado, another college, but he was signed, for however long on his contract, and he leaves and goes to another college, which is why, and Coach Sig too, that left JMU to go to Indiana, same thing. Yeah, I agree. Where's the, and I get going for other jobs, but wait till your contract is up. But see, part of the difference though, when the students leave, when the student athlete leaves, there's no repercussions as far as money goes. If a coach leaves, there's a buyout. Yes, if you fire them, you're still paying that coach. However, that's all about contract negotiation. And you can say, if you decide to leave, you forfeit whatever, Or if you go to want to work for someone else, let's use Tom Crean, for example, gets a $20-some million buyout from Indiana because he was fired. And now he's going to work for whoever it is. I don't remember if it was Northwestern or Penn State or somebody. He's going to be their defensive coordinator. I didn't hear whether or not that college had to pay Indiana a buyout because a lot of them have a no-compete clause, much like wrestlers. There's a no-coaching clause that they can't coach for at least a year, or in some cases, 5 years. And if they coach within that time or sign with a different team, then they have to pay that money back. I'm cool with sitting in a jacuzzi, smoking cigars, earning $5 million a year for nothing.
Right. And you're sitting around. I mean, it's Bobby Bonilla Day for everybody.
Exactly.
That's my favorite day of the year, by the way.
Absolutely. It would be mine too if I was getting that money.
Yeah, I just like the whole idea because baseball contracts are stupid.
Yeah, I think all professional athlete contracts are stupid. All of them.
Yeah, and extending this into the student athlete with just crazy money. I don't begrudge people making money.
No,
I just don't. But man, I just don't get how we got from nothing to this.
Yeah, it's like we've put an emphasis on the wrong things. Look at this is in no way trying to get political, but you look at your military, look at your first responders, and those kind of things where people are just not getting paid. Doctors, teachers. I mean, that list could go on. And you got people that are playing a game, and they're LeBroning. I mean, flopping on the court. And I've hurt myself, and I don't want to play in this bowl game because Adidas didn't sponsor my left foot. Whatever it is. I mean, come on. Where does the madness stop?
And you and I know that a lot of these bowl games are ridiculous. The Chef Boyardee Motor City Madness Bowl that was
Weekly Poor Podcast Bowl is coming in 2028.
Right, and it's 3 days before Christmas where no one gives a shit.
Exactly.
The stands will be empty, but each team will get $60,000 or something.
Yeah,
no matter what. That's what's crazy. There's always money. Like the reason they're there is not because we want to win this Chef Boyardee trophy for the Weekly Poor. It's not that. It's the fact that schools are getting a boatload of money.
Yeah.
So no matter what happens, you're getting paid. But
we're going to get $200,000. Each team will get 50, with the winner getting 75. So, it's a win-win for everybody.
It'll be the first and last because I get $200,000. I'm good.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. At least for a couple years, and then we'll have to do it again.
Right.
Great to see that Shannon and Kathy have decided to talk about Alfredo sauce.
Oh, my wife's Alfredo sauce is the most amazing Alfredo sauce you will ever eat.
I don't believe it.
It is amazing.
I don't believe it.
Why?
The proof is in the pudding. That's a hint. I don't believe it.
Her persimmon pudding is the best persimmon pudding.
No, don't
we
believe it. We
just had it for my birthday. My birthday is Saturday, but we celebrated early, and she made her lasagna, which is the best lasagna on the planet.
Why'd you celebrate it early? Are you not celebrating on Saturday because you got other things to do?
I will be here, but other circumstances may have popped up that other people may not be around.
Sounds to me like you won't be able to play in the bowl game.
No, I sat out.
Yeah, Natalie just said it. Prove it. I don't believe that the Alfredo sauce is the best. I don't believe her persimmon pudding is the best. We're sitting here talking about persimmon pudding. Nobody with the exception of the people in the chat, probably even know what persimmon pudding is.
Are the trees outside of Indiana?
Yes. I found one in Florida one time.
Really?
Yeah.
Did everyone stare at it? Why the deer eat it and no one else?
No, there were no deer. But let's go with 8-year-old. I'm 8 years old. I'm riding my bike around a base in Florida. Being from Indiana, by golly, I know what a persimmon looks like, yeehaw.
Right.
I'm riding my bike. And I stop and I look at this tree. And I'm like, those are persimmons. I think I picked one up, and Mama TBT, if she's still in here listening, she'll know. I don't remember if I picked one up or if I just got on my bike and I hauled ass all the way home to tell everybody I just found a persimmon tree. I was grounded. I was told to get to my room. I was spanked with a wooden spoon, all of the above. This is really just to see if she's listening. But they were like, no, I don't think so. There's no way. Everybody jumped on their bikes and we rode. I took them to the tree. Sure enough, it was a persimmon tree.
Natalie says that when she lived in Kentucky, people there thought it was poison.
It is poison to Kentucky people.
Right, to Kentuckians.
Yes. Apparently, Mama TBT just says, no, I were not. I was not. You were not. I wasn't beat with a wooden spoon, paddle, grounded, all that fun stuff. But yeah, we all went. We found the tree, and sure enough, they were persimmon. Yeah.
So, but hers is the best, my wife's. And yeah, she spends all day on this stuff. Like, this is nothing out of a jar, processed, full of sugar bullshit.
Do you guys have trees?
Like, what kind of trees?
Persimmon trees, goofball.
You lived here.
I didn't live in your backyard.
But you lived here.
I had a persimmon tree in my backyard.
I have not seen one.
Okay.
In this edition.
Your neighbor, I got pulp from her one time.
Oh, did you?
So that is what is making me ask whether or not you guys had trees.
No, I've never seen one around me anywhere.
Okay. All right. Yeah, we had one in the backyard. I freaked out one time. I was out mowing, smelled something, looked up, and I was like, holy crap, there's a persimmon tree. So, yeah, I just wondered.
Well, it wouldn't matter because I am not going to take time to dissect said persimmons to make the pulp and all that stuff. I'm not doing it.
No.
No, we buy it.
Yeah. There's a store just down the road from you that you can get it from.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, we buy real Americans.
Yeah, and see, Mama TBT said it. We all got persimmons. Yes, we did. They were certainly not Indiana persimmons, but by golly, they were persimmons. So we're almost 30 minutes into this, and we have talked about NCAA football, persimmons.
Yeah.
And I don't know what else. This is the best episode ever.
Yeah, well, and my day back from vacation.
Yes.
Yeah, which it rained.
Have you looked out today?
Yeah, I was in and out of the car all day. It stunk. It was horrible.
Yeah, we've got rain scheduled for, well, I think it's ending today.
Who scheduled it, though? Who was in charge?
Natalie did.
Yeah, why does she do that stuff?
Have you met her?
Yes, I have.
Yeah, that's why.
That's all I need to know.
So tomorrow's forecast is flurries.
Dude.
In the morning, because then it's supposed to get up to like 37.
I'm so over all this.
But don't worry, Thursday it's 42. And Friday it's 42, with rain. I am more excited about Monday.
No one's excited about Monday, ever.
I am super excited. Monday's a holiday.
Is it? I'm off.
Yeah, I'm not. But that's another story. Monday's high is 10 degrees.
10 degrees.
Yeah. The low is -2. See, even Shannon, if you look, she said, look at Monday. Yeah, look at Monday. 10 and -2.
See, so if it's a holiday and I'm off work, I will be sleeping in my bed until, I don't know, whenever. Because I'm not getting up and freezing.
What are you going to get up for?
Exactly.
To freeze?
I can't go outside. Can't go outside and do nothing.
No.
Well, I could, but...
But why? You'll freeze.
I'll freeze.
Yeah.
I've got so much junk in my backyard right now because
you really should have said trunk.
No, junk. I got so much junk.
In the trunk.
In the trunk.
Right.
Well, we cleaned we cleaned out a room or 2 or 3.
Right.
And given the weather, just pitch it and I'll get it later.
Into the backyard?
Into the backyard.
Okay.
Yeah, well, I got a fence.
Well, yeah, I know.
Sort of.
Whatever. With no tree.
Yeah, but I'll get to it.
Yeah.
I
in the
promise you.
spring.
In the spring when it warms up a little bit. Not
Exactly.
rainy crap. Anyway, what's going on in the world of rock that we've looked up?
Well, did you know, you just mentioned a while ago that your birthday is Saturday?
It is.
There are and you're turning 60.
No, I am not 60.
You are not. However, I guess this is ironic, but there are a lot of rock stars who are turning 60 this year. I went through the list and I was like, oh, who cares? And then I started seeing some names and I was like, daggone, I had no idea they were 60. Duff
Yeah, there's a
McKagan
lot of
is
people.
on that list. Doug
Yeah,
Aldrich is on that list.
that guy looks timeless. He never ages.
Yeah. Vinnie Paul, had he lived, would be 60 this year.
You know, had he lived. Now, is this a list of people that are alive or just people that we just want to talk about?
These are just people in general.
Okay.
And Vinnie Paul's on the list. Who drives a fast car? Tracy Chapman does.
No. That was the old fast car.
Yeah, 60.
Now Luke Combs drives it.
No. She drives it. She turned 60. Eric Turner from Warrant. He turned 60. I'm just going to keep going. Maynard from Tool. He turned 60.
That's crazy because that band to me is not even that old, but it is old.
No.
But you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I get it. Lenny Kravitz is 60.
That one shocked me because, of course, he's another guy that never looks his age. He never has.
Right. Scotty Hill from Skid Row. Yeah, he turned 60.
Still rocking.
Doro Pesh. She turned 60. Carrie King.
Speaking of Skid Row.
Yes.
I wanted to put them on our list last week, but I think it came out the year before. Just thought I'd tell you that.
Yeah, good call. Good call. Carrie King, Slayer. He turned 60. This is a sound clip now. He turned 60. Yep. Joey Allen. He turned 60.
Who else?
Mark Slaughter.
Jeez.
Courtney Love.
See, it's like I remember Slaughter like it was yesterday, just debuting.
Right.
Flying to the Angels.
Gosh, who else? I mean, there's a bunch more, but I mean, that's just a few because I thought it was, Keanu Reeves. He's a bass player for the Dog Star, but, whatever. He turned 60.
And he does not look 60. He looks fantastic.
Yeah. David Snake Stabo. He's turned 60.
So anyone in Skid Row?
Yeah, basically. Basically anybody we like. Rob Trujillo from Metallica. Yeah, he turned 60. Corey Glover from Living Colour. Yep.
Dude, Robbie from the Goo Goo Dolls. These are bands that aren't even that old, really, in the sense of Goo Goo Dolls is old, but to me, they're not an older band because they came out a little bit in the 90s kind of thing.
Tony Rombola, guitarist for Godsmack. Yeah, he turned 60.
Shows you what our perspective is. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, exactly. Eddie Vedder, he turned 60. So yeah, there's a lot. There's also a list of bands that broke up in 2023.
Oh, okay.
I skimmed through it and I was like, okay, none of these are like, oh my gosh, I didn't know that. There's only a couple that I've recognized, like Panic at the Disco. I recognize it, but that's about it. They added Kicks to this list. I don't know if adding Kicks to this list is fair. Because they did some goodbye shows and it was almost like a retirement and not a goodbye. Right. I thought.
Right. If you retire or call it quits, is it really breaking up?
Right. That's kind of how I felt. And those are the only ones that really stood out. So I was like, yeah, okay, whatever.
That's why I like it when bands don't announce anything, but just kind of leave it as it is. Because they didn't really break up.
Right.
They're just inactive. And they go out the way they want to go out. And then if something changes down the road, there's no big announcement. There's no reunion tour that you might have 2 or 3 of. so you can have a farewell.
Yeah. Or a bunch of AI figures to make you think you're at a concert when you're really not.
Did you see where that's going to like finally take place in 2027 or something?
Yes, and I've already bought my tickets.
Talk about the Kiss AI fantasy camp or whatever it's going to be.
Fantasy camp.
And there's a lot of just fallout from that. I don't know that I've seen anything positive.
Nope.
At all.
No. I mean, even former members of Kiss are sitting there going, yeah, what?
They are still complaining that they weren't invited or even mentioned in the final concerts, Bruce Kulick.
Exactly. That's exactly what I was talking about. How do you do that? And that's we could do a whole nother hour on Kiss's final concert, but we won't.
No, we won't. We've already been there. It fires me up, but yeah, we've already been there and talked about quite a bit.
So we know that there's a few new albums coming out in 2024 that we're already aware of. There's now a list out there to kind of keep track of things, and there's some on here that I'm really looking forward to. I am not looking forward to the new Green Day. I never was really a Green Day person. Well, their last album was 2020.
Oh, okay, so not that long ago.
No. They've got a new one coming out the 19th of this month. Skipping that one. Don't care. Ace Frehley, we've talked about this one. 10,000 Volts comes out next month on the 23rd of February.
Yeah, and of course, it's his record, but he's really high on this one.
Right.
Like best record he's ever done, which says a lot.
Right.
We'll see.
The most anticipated for me is Mick Mars. Also,
you want to see
releases next month.
You want to see where that one's going?
Yeah. What do we got? One song so far?
I think one or two. Yes.
If we've gotten two, I've only listened to one.
Yeah.
So the first album since 2005, Bruce Dickinson is releasing a new solo project.
I see that, the Mandrake Project.
Right. Not to be confused with The Mandalorian or The Manhattan Project or Beef Manhattan.
Whatever.
Yeah.
Priest, of course, got theirs coming out. Invincible Shield.
Yeah.
March 8th. I will be seeing Judas Priest, if all goes well, twice.
Excellent.
On this tour.
Good.
Yes.
Scott Stapp, even with the Creed reunion coming up, his Higher Power solo album, his first since 2019.
That's interesting that this has all happened conveniently now that he's got a record coming out.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. And then there's a bunch that are working on stuff that we don't know about, like Anthrax. They haven't put out an album since 2016. I have no idea what Natalie's talking about because what?
Oh, Mannheim Steamroller.
Yeah. Not sure how the Manhattan Project turned into that. Yeah, look, she got rid of it. She retracted her statement because she probably didn't know how to spell Mannheim Steamroller.
I knew what she meant.
I did too. Bad Omens. They got a new one coming out. Their last one was 2022. Well, I almost said last year. Can I almost still say that?
You can.
Okay.
What is Cradle of Filth?
That is a really dirty cradle.
This guy's got some cool makeup on.
Yeah. That's a band.
Okay.
It's a band. Black Keys, didn't listen to them. Yeah, Cradle of Filth. And then two down from that, I'm surprised you didn't say this one.
Dream Theater?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that was huge. Just, 2 weeks ago?
Yes.
Where Mike Portnoy announced that he was coming back to Dream Theater. We're having a love fest now amongst the band because it's been so long. And they're doing a record. They're doing a tour. Why not? Portnoy's in every other band. So why not? But yeah, this is going to be a big deal.
Well, and we're going to talk more about Portnoy here in a minute. But yeah, I mean, that's going to be awesome. Exodus, they're coming out with something new. They put it out an album in 21. Fear Factory, 21. Kill Switch Engage, which I'm looking forward to definitely. Their last one was 2019. King Diamond, by golly.
God bless.
Yeah, bless his heart. For the first time in 13 years, Kitty is coming out with a new album. That should really be interesting. Have you ever listened to them?
No, I haven't.
Seriously. All right, I'm going to pull this up. You need to listen to I'm trying to remember what it was. Run Like Hell.
Okay.
The Pink Floyd song.
Yeah.
Kitty
That's one of my
remade that.
favorite songs.
They covered that. I don't want to say remade. They covered it in I think like 2008. And you need to listen to it. I know you don't like screamies. This is not all screamy. All, not all. It's really
That's
good.
something you talk about after the show too. I have a screamy thing to tell you about.
Oh, excellent. Kerry King is releasing one. Kerry King, of course, from Slayer. He's releasing a solo. Korn is expected to release something this year, as is Limp Bizkit and Ozzy. Ozzy released one 2 years ago. I don't know. I don't know.
I think that's fine. I've talked about this before, where Ozzy's beyond touring. He physically can't. His health is not going to allow that. But
Right.
if he wants to continue to make music, I think he could do that in another, handful of records.
Yeah, easily.
I was right behind me. Patient number 9 was really good.
Loved it.
A lot of guests on it. I think the one prior to that had a lot of guests on it.
Yep.
I think he could do that and get that itch scratched a little bit.
Yeah.
Touring's out of the question. Shows are out of the question.
Yeah, and how do you step away from music altogether?
Right, and he shouldn't have to. Why should he?
Not unless Sharon tells him to.
No, she won't.
No. But going back to what we were talking about just a minute ago, we're talking about Mike Portnoy. So if you're not familiar with this company, this person, this whatever you want to call it, Drumeo is a trend that's going around right now where, let me give you the premise for the listeners that don't know what this is. They will take a drummer from a band. Doesn't have to be metal, doesn't have to be rock. They've had Megadeth's drummer. They've had the drummer from, oh my gosh, I can't think of maybe Chris Stapleton's drummer. I don't remember who it was.
It was another country guy. I know who you were talking about.
Okay. Numerous drummers. And what they'll do is they'll sit them in front of a kit or have them bring theirs, and they will listen to a song that they've never heard before without the drum track. So they might hear, a pop song, a country song, a rock song. 9 times out of 10, it's a rock song that they've not heard, or a like you'll take somebody who's metal and they'll hear just like rock. Well, in this case, this was Mike Portnoy, who was listening to a variety of different songs, gets to a song he had never heard. He's listening to it with his earpiece with no drum track, and it happened to be a Nickelback song.
Yeah,
and he goes, yeah, he's like, I've never heard this. We'll roll this one. So they roll it without the drum track. He writes down, his notes of, how he thinks it's going and everything. And he's like, okay. So they go back to it. And he plays along with the music and puts the Portnoy twist to it, basically. He plays the song as he thinks it should be. And it is amazing. Most of the time, these things are amazing. But Mike Portnoy takes this song and just demolishes it. It's Burn It to the Ground is the one they did for for Nickelback, and he just crushes it. Double bass, it's stupid ridiculous.
Well, right, and he's such a talented drummer that he's one of those that knows all the rudiments. He knows all the techniques that he needs to know. He's got specific tuning on his kit for
Oh
his
yeah.
toms. So the sound is different than what you're used to on that song. If you're familiar with the Nickelback version with their current drummer, who's a good drummer, a really good drummer. But Portnoy is putting drag rolls into triplets, fills. He is doing all this while doing a double bass. He's hitting
Stupid
the
double
tom.
bass.
Yeah, he's hitting the toms with drag rolls and triplets and all that stuff. It's amazing.
Yeah, I'm actually right now getting ready to throw this up on our Facebook page. Don't leave the damn podcast just to go watch it. Wait and watch it afterwards. Daggone it.
Right, because Portnoy is not only in every other band that you've probably heard of or never heard of, but he's just a world-renowned drummer. He drums for the Winery Dogs, Dream Theater we just mentioned. What's the one he did with Scott Soto there? Jeff Scott Soto. Gosh, they put out 2 albums. That was so good.
You got me
with
there.
Derek Shrine, Bucket, Bumblefoot.
Bumblefoot, yep.
Player.
Bucketfoot.
Yeah. Bucketfoot. I get him and Buckethead up.
Yeah, you know who he needs to be in a band with?
Who?
The other person that's been in just about every band except for ABBA.
Right. John Corabi.
John Corabi. Yeah, exactly. So I just posted that. So as soon as this show's over, go check it out, listen to it. It's freaking awesome.
Tell them the rest of the story though about
Portnoy. Yeah. So he picks this song, crushes it. He listens back to it the way he played it, and then listens back to the way it was played on the album. He's like, holy crap, I really messed this up. This is horrible. Come to find out, he leads into this story, which I'm pretty sure you'll see in a video, but if not, I'm telling you. He leads into this story of how Mike Portnoy almost played for Nickelback. And when I heard that, I was like, what? How does that even happen? So apparently Chad Kruger, however you pronounce it, that one too, called him when their drummer was, I don't know, getting something done to his back, his knees, some kind of medical condition, whatever, couldn't tour. Maybe he had to poop. I don't know. They call him up and they're like, hey, you want to play a festival with us? And he said, sure. So he is all scheduled to play with Nickelback in Vancouver at this festival. And lo and behold, the festival is canceled. So he was that close to playing with Nickelback, didn't get the opportunity to do so.
So then you would have got a whole show of him playing stuff he didn't know. He'd never heard the drum track to. And they're like, okay, it's a 2/4 time, go.
Yeah, exactly.
Sons of Apollo is the other band I was thinking of, by the way.
Okay. Yep. To have had Mike Portnoy play with Nickelback, and he mentions the same thing that a lot of people do. He said they're hated, but then they're loved by just as many people that hate them, if not more. And he goes, yeah, they would have hated him completely if I would have done it. Because he thinks in his mind that, he trashed the song. But it's good. Totally go listen to it. If you don't, you're doing yourself a disservice.
Right. And you hate to say that he improved anything. I'm not going to do a disservice to the current Nickelback drummer, but boy, he puts a twist on it. He does some cool stuff in there.
Absolutely. And no, does he make it better? Maybe if you're a Mike Portnoy fan, he makes it better.
Yeah.
But it's still the song. It's awesome. Great story. It's go to YouTube and watch it, and then when you're done, go to that page of other videos and check out some different drummers on there. They have the Sleep Token drummer on there, I believe, and he starts talking about how he plays. And that's a band that's covered in masks. Nobody knows who they are. Well, in the interview, his voice has also changed. So it's tons of mystery on there. Ridiculous, but whatever. Good for them.
That's getting to be a trend with bands, isn't it? To have this mysterious, enigmatic personality that we don't know who you are or what you could be.
Yeah.
Ghost does this. And now you're talking about Sleep Token doing something very similar. It's an interesting thing. I mean, Kiss had names. These people don't even have names.
Oh no,
Like,
the lead singer of Sleep Token, his name is Vessel.
Yeah, he's Vessel.
Yeah, it's
For what?
crazy.
I don't know.
Yeah. I was reading an article too about the 25 most destructive Guns N' Roses moments. I'm not going to go through these.
Montreal.
I'm not going to go through these. However, I don't know if it's bad that I absolutely remember every single one of these. Every single one of them. Steven Adler being fired. St. Louis riot. I mean, losing Izzy Stradlin, who he quit. Of course, Montreal's on there. Their feud with Nirvana, their song they did covering Charles Manson. Yeah, it's all there.
I'm scrolling through this, and about half of them involve Steven Adler.
Yeah. The other the other half involve Axl and his how do you say, his attitude?
I mean,
Anger issues.
How many bands can sit there and say they caused 2 riots? 2. I mean,
can the Stones even say that?
I don't know. Would you count that as a riot or just?
I don't know.
One with the Who too. There was one with the Who.
Okay, right? The Who. That's what I'm thinking of.
And the Stones had the Hell's Angels, right?
Yes.
As bodyguards, that was a fiasco, but not a riot.
Yeah.
The Who had the people storming the stage and crushing people, right?
Yeah.
Or something like that.
The
Back
Doors.
In the early 80s. Doors, did they have a riot?
Yeah. I only know that because I just pulled it up.
Oh. What did Jim Morrison do?
Well, he was the first rock star to be arrested on stage.
For exposing himself.
Yeah. And then the first rock star to be maced backstage at his own show. Yeah. Sly and the Family Stone, Grant Park, Chicago, Illinois. Jethro Tull, before they won the Grammy. Eric Clapton, Roosevelt Stadium, Jersey City, New Jersey. How do you
riot?
How does Clapton have a riot at an Eric Clapton show? Oh, because he was in no shape to be on stage, distracted, undernourished.
What year was it?
74.
Right in the middle of the big cocaine binge.
Yes. Yep. Oh, okay. Led Zeppelin, 77. I was in Tampa. It was like all the rain and the thunderstorms and everything. 70,000 fans. Yeah. And of course, Guns N' Roses, Maryland Heights, St. Louis, Grateful Dead. I mean, it goes on and on. Woodstock 99, you could throw that in there. Yeah, it just goes on and on. It's not often that, even though we're called the Weekly Pour, that we talk about beverages, but I got one tonight. Not in front of me, but one to talk about. Because this is somebody that you've mentioned before as someone that you like to listen to as far as country music goes. Chris Stapleton has teamed up with Buffalo Trace Distillery. Buffalo Trace is known for tons of alcohol, including Buffalo Trace, of course, Eagle Rare Bourbon, E.H. Taylor, Pappy, Van Winkle, George Stagg, Sazerac. The list goes on and on and on. Yes, that is correct, Natalie. All of those drinks. So Chris Stapleton has teamed up with Buffalo Trace, and they have released their signature first release whiskey, which they have called Traveler. It's a 90 proof whiskey. I've not had it. Don't know if it's any good. I've read some reviews. I will read those as they are in just words because some of them are good, some of them are really not good. So who knows? And a lot of this is what happens a lot of times when celebrities get into the bourbon business, the whiskey business, the vodka, whatever it is. They
Hot
go
sauce.
in the hot sauce, yeah. They get into this and they say, "Oh yeah, I want to do that." Well, a lot of times, is it just to make money? Because whiskey and bourbon and all that is such a hot item right now. Is it just to make money, or is they actually trying to put something out? I can't judge this one because I've yet to have it. It's a $40 bottle. Will I buy it? Probably. If I don't get the chance to try it before I buy it, I'll spend $40 on the bottle. 90 proof. This is what they say about it. Over 50 blends of whiskey were sampled before making the 40th one the chosen combination. Blend number 40 is carefully curated result of countless hours of testing and tasting, and is exactly what you'd expect a premium whiskey that speaks for itself. Traveler whiskey is easy to drink, hard not to love. That's their tagline or whatever. Your tasting notes, a complex aromas of vanilla, aged fruit, and buttery shortbread, rounded off by caramel and a touch of oak. The palate has just a touch of sweetness, followed by spice, toasted nut, and oak flavors with a robust finish. So,
What'd you say about buttery nut bread?
buttery nipple, complex aromas of vanilla, aged fruit, and buttery shortbread. So you're smelling it, and
Yeah.
I smell vanilla. I smell fruit and buttery shortbread. I don't think I've ever smelt buttery shortbread.
That's interesting.
I can smell yeast. Well, and
Do
here,
they do that? Do they do a consensus? Like they have 10 people there and say, see if you smell this.
sort of. So if we had the same thing in a cup right now,
Because you're the expert. You have a license.
like if we were smelling this, obviously we both have something different. But if we were smelling it, and as you get to know flavors and scents and how things smell, you smell a thing of uh, vanilla extract. You know what that smells like. And then you go to drink some whiskey or you go to drink bourbon and you smell it and you're like, hey, I kind of smell some vanilla in there. Yeah, you probably do. Um, Aged fruit is going to be like plums or, some kind of like a dark fruit, something like that. And you may smell it. So, yeah, but it's not a problem. But a lot of times they'll say, okay, they'll have a panel of 7, 8 people. Okay, tell me what you smell. And the the panel will say, yep, I've got plum, buttery shortbread, persimmon pudding, and Alfredo sauce.
Golden Corral.
Yeah, we have a golden corral of scents. So yeah, who knows? But it's Buffalo Trace. Buffalo Trace has some, and anybody that's out there that's into whiskeys and bourbons is either going to A, agree with me, or B, throw me to the wolves and say that this is ridiculous, that Buffalo Trace sucks, blah 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 blah. But a lot of people are after the products that Buffalo Trace makes, like Weller, Elmer T. Lee, Blanton's, Sazerac, George T. Stagg, all of those things. The problem is that they are allocated, and you'll be lucky if you find them. Traveler whiskey will not be allocated. As a matter of fact, we can probably find it here in town if it's been released here. So who knows? But something cool to try if you're into whiskey. Get it. If you're not into whiskey, get it anyway and send it to me.
I got grouped into the bourbon crowd recently.
Congratulations.
Even though I know very little, just what you've introduced me to.
Sure.
Mutual friend of ours asked me about a certain whiskey or bourbon or something. I'm like, I don't know. I heard of it. I think it was Buffalo Trace.
Okay.
Their products are usually pretty good.
Sure.
For the price. He's like, well, I thought you knew because you know TbT, et cetera, et cetera. Like I was in that group for a second. I'm like, I drink beer.
Yeah, I was almost there, and then you lost me.
Yeah, I mean, I can fake it a little, but I drink beer.
Oh, yeah. Do we miss anything in this chat? Kathy, we're glad you made it home.
Yes. I watched her from the time she hit the airport to the time she drove home just to make sure that she made it home safe.
No. I think she's talking from the store because she did go to the store, and now she's home. And Shannon said, I watched you because I knew that she had made it home because I saw the dog.
But that's a shorter trip. Why would I be worried about that one?
Well, I don't know. Maybe because she's watching us while driving?
We had a week where an airplane was on fire in Tokyo and a window blew out of another one with children hanging out of the window, their mothers pulling them inside.
Holding them in by their slinky?
Yes. I mean, this was not a good week for air travel.
No. Oh, she said the roads were horrible. With what?
Right.
Did they get all that snow?
They're having a terrible storm up there. We're getting the crappy rain from it.
And they're getting the snow?
They have been, yeah.
Oh, heck. Well, then, yeah, we're glad you made it home safe. Both times, on the flight and driving.
Yeah, just now, because, my wife watched to make sure.
Yeah, thank goodness.
And I think she said she wants a bottle of something. She didn't clarify. I think she's talking about the whiskey.
I think Natalie said she wanted a bottle of beef Manhattan. I don't know.
Bottle beef?
I don't know. I bet you can bottle Alfredo sauce.
You can, and sell it, because my wife's would be on the top shelf.
Would we be able to get a coupon for the persimmon pudding?
No.
Oh,